Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Shonen Ronins. We are up to episode 3, and we are going to be talking about My Hero Academia, chapter 311, and Black Clover 292. Soon we will have JJK. Unfortunately, they took a break this week, but soon, guys, soon. We promise you. So let's go into our intro right now, and we can meet the whole group. Welcome, anime fans. How you all doing to another episode of Shonen Ronin, episode 3. I am here as always with our good man, our great certified, verified Twitter, Ray Apollo, the invincible James Barnes,
I like that title for James. It's good.
Oh yeah.
the Rico Suave Miguel Para, aka LegendDVash.
The birthday boy that was this past Friday.
Yeah, it's his birthday weekend right here. He's not in his office, but it's okay. It's cool. He wanted to join us. He wanted to celebrate his birthday with you guys, our fans. Talk about My Hero Academia and Black Clover.
Definitely true. And before we start, also, we want a quick shout out to the audio listeners as well that has been listening to Shonen Ronin on the audio side. We appreciate that. And for those that listen, don't forget to rate us. Don't forget to subscribe to us. And, in your audio podcast platform, that helps us, a ton. So please and thank you for those that actually rate us and write review and subscribe to us. So thank you very much, wherever you listen to us.
I want to see us hit 500 downloads this year on either show. And I think y'all can do it. So
hell yeah, let's get it.
Hit it.
Before we actually start, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Yes.
If you guys can also say happy birthday to Vash too in the live chat as well, just so that you can give him support, show him the love.
Definitely a facts, but My Hero Academia and Black Clover is on break next week, so eventually we could replace that Black Clover segment with a different series. So
it should be JJK if everybody's caught up.
I mean, I was gonna say Kaiju number 8 because it comes back this week.
Catch up on JJK, all of you. Do it.
I'm working on it.
That's your whole.
It's a very, very busy week.
Finals
within the next 7 days. Okay, sure. That'll be a
how many chapters are you behind now?
Professor, I got a finals.
Oh my god. Okay, you get a pass.
Yeah, so I was on 95, but I was super busy this week, so I didn't get a chance to read anything. So I don't know.
You have no excuse.
By Sunday, I don't know.
This past week was my birthday, so I technically have that as an excuse to be on vacation. So
Oh wow, I'm on vacation. I can't read manga. Oh, okay, bro.
that's my luxury vacation right there.
But we could, if people want, for next week, since Black Horse on break, we could talk about MHA, another Magic series. That's a good series to replace it, and it's much shorter for JJK and everything. Just a good suggestion. MHA, yeah.
I mean, I would prefer to get caught up on JJK rather than to start Mashal for me because I haven't started it.
Or maybe we talk a little bit about Candy Flurry since that just came.
That one I'm about. We could do that one. Candy Flurry was good.
It's pretty good.
I mean, it's short. It's only like 3 chapters out now. I think today. So yeah, it should be fine.
So it's cool. So we have options. So guys, chat. Let us know what you guys want us to cover
in the live chat in the comments.
We will check up by Tuesday. If you guys don't let us know, we ourselves, the team, will choose one series. But let's jump into My Hero Academia chapter 311 and let's discuss how this chapter was. As always, we start the show. James, Ray, give us your thoughts about this chapter since me and Sam always do the reactions week to week. Let us know your thoughts about it.
James, I want to know, how'd you feel? How did this one get you?
I really, really like this chapter. I really liked it the first time I read it, and I loved it the second time that I read it because things impacted me a little bit more on the second read, right? Like just getting the confirmation that the doctor is in custody. He didn't escape because we thought for the longest while that there was a huge possibility that the doctor escaped, right? But this chapter proved that. This chapter also showed us exactly what All Might told Best Genius, Endeavor, and Hawks about One for All. Yes, we knew that he told them everything, but it's nice to hear it back from them and that they understand what it all means and how it connects to All for One, even in the sense that All for One couldn't take One for All before because there is a key element that he simply lacks that we'll get into later into the review. But I thought that was a huge element in the chapter, and Endeavor was one of my favorite parts of this chapter, because just getting to see his facial expressions and how he's dealing with how the public feels about him and how the public feels about heroes in general. And I love that the way Horikoshi dealt with Endeavor in this chapter on a whole. We got to see Endeavor in those sad moments, but he's also about the job. We have a job to do. That's why I'm here. He says that in one of the panels. I can't remember what page it was, but he says that's why I'm here. He knows that there's a job to do and he's still doing it, even though there's so much scrutiny against him. So this was a great chapter, and I can't wait to get into the nitty gritty.
Bro, and that him saying that was so true to him. It was the regardless of the situation and how you feel about me, I am here. And I loved that. I was like, that's Endeavor. That is the type of hero he is. But you brought up a really good point about Hawks and Genus and how All Might had explained it to them, but we got their interpretation of it as well, which is really, really, really important, I think. And we'll get into that later, because there's one line in particular I told the guys about that just sold the whole thing for me, where I'm like, hot damn, this is so good. And it starts to show, if you really pay attention, it starts to show you the difference between kill and save, and who's going to be killed and who's going to be saved when it comes to this entire thing. Like, this explained it. This chapter to me explained all of that and how it's going to go down. I mean, this chapter was also to be honest, we're actually getting to the climax of this arc, if you ask me. We're about to hit that.
So soon?
Facts.
Yes, I think so. I think we're about to hit the climax of this arc. And then we're going to get into our kind of a lull, and then it's going to pop off again, I think, to be honest with you.
I can see what you mean.
So, I mean, even like just the mid arc, you know, it's kind of like the mid-season finale, to say.
Right.
Is kind of what I think we're about to hit, to be honest. So, I'm excited. There's some stuff that goes down in this chapter where I'm like, oh, that happened way sooner than I thought. But we're about to see some folk that we were really, really, really waiting to see, I think. Especially the person that showed up at the end, who I was really excited to see. So it's whatever. But I love this chapter. It's a good chapter. Once again,
so
Horikoshi.
Okay. Are you talking about the woman?
Oh yes.
Or the other person?
Oh no. That other person. Yes.
But definitely, it was really cool to actually see the perspective of people who hate Endeavor, because they all blame him for them to stop all this. They blame him for, why didn't you stop Shigaraki? You were supposed to be our #1 hero, kind of thing. But like, he knew the consequences. Everybody kind of knew the consequences, that he had to shoulder the burdens of everything that's bad, including Shigaraki himself. And then it's not fair, but at the same time, because of his bad family values, is what gave everybody perspective. Like, yeah, it is his fault. He's like a bad father. He's a bad hero. He's literally everything. Yet he's still going out there, being a hero, protecting civilians, like stopping civilianism. I think it's what called. Like, literally, in the criminal, even the criminal himself. Like, come on, man. The reason why I'm actually here was because you, mainly because like they escaped the prisoners. Endeavor is probably the one that put this guy into jail in the first place, and then now he's putting him back to jail, just like Batman. Yet people are not happy. They are never going to be happy of whatever he done, and they even try to hide the fact that they're using Deku as bait, and they don't want to expose the fact that they're using a UA student to help catch the biggest villain that literally destroyed Japan and caused all the
That's a
territories.
great point, Sam. Can you imagine the implications on the Hero Society and UA if they found out that the Hero Association was using kids as a child as bait to lure the villains, bro? It would be a PR nightmare. That's a great point.
Would be horrible, like just straight horrible. They're gonna be people writing like, "Who's next? Is my child gonna be out there? Are you gonna put my child out in the field?" Like,
okay? So can I interrupt you for a second? And
no,
let
go
you know
for it.
That's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how I know the implication is there? The plot of this next movie. Horikoshi decided not to take that entire route to where everybody finds out, but somebody's gonna find out, and it's not gonna end well for them. Deku's going to have to talk to everybody. Like, he's going to have to, basically, he's going to be revealed to the public. He's going to talk to the public as a hero at some point. It's going to happen because there's nobody else who can give people hope at this point other than Deku. Straight up.
Facts. That is 100% facts.
So that's it's gonna happen. Like I like this chapter told me. It's just like the people are like, you're hiding something from us, and I'm like, I don't know why y'all would think that, but okay, it works for the story, I guess.
Because I just love how they act, like, which means you're all still hiding something from us, and like they know people realize what it is, but Endeavor, Hawks, and so like they know as heroes right now is not the right time to tell the people to tell civilians. But like you said, right, like for the purpose of the story, we are gonna have Deku speak to the people, just like All Might, just like Endeavor, to like these people. You just say, "I am here." This is his moment where Deku will be like,
somebody
"Hey."
has to reinforce hope in the people, and we know that now that none of the current heroes that they look up to before can do that.
Yes.
None of them.
And like we just seen two different like perspective of parallel where Deku saves people. He saved them from Muscular. He's giving them hope. He's giving them, okay, maybe there is a reason for heroes to be here. While as for Endeavor, everybody feels hopeless when they see his face again. I think it's great. It's to literally build Deku, build up the morale of the people, so that when he's ready to speak to the people, like, I am here to give hope for the people. Even though like you guys are against Endeavor, he's our team. He's in our team. We're in this together. We're heroes for a reason. We're here to save for the people.
I mean, so I don't want to hear nobody complaining. Oh, well, they're building up Deku. Like, this is what y'all have been yelling about. Like, they're giving you Deku time. This is Deku time, and I love it. Like, Deku is a far more interesting character than y'all think. I mean, well, I wouldn't even say that. Nothing that you think that you've paid attention to is the word I want to say. Deku is a fantastic character. And like now he's getting his spotlight, he's growing, and he's being like, he's doing the damn thing. Let's be real. I want to be honest with you. Let's be like, just talk to me for a second. How many of your MCs in Jump right now are out doing shit unsupported physically? Deku is being backed up, but he's out here doing this shit by himself.
Him and his crazy plan, which I want to bring that up. He says,
that's all I'm saying.
His plan is to hijack Shigaraki.
And when I say hijack, that means to turn him to their side, essentially. Save him.
Yes, but also to turn Shigaraki back to who he was or is, because right now
Shigaraki is Shigaraki. If it's what you just have to save him. There was nobody before.
What I meant by that is not being controlled by All For One. Like right now, he's being controlled by All For One. His body and everything. It's to save him, not being controlled by All For One no more. That's what I meant. To be clarified.
I still think that most of that final battle is going to be fought in that All For One verse.
Yeah, we did. We did all agree to that before, like months ago. We said it like last summer. We said it like this is always how gonna come into like the All For One Avatar state.
Exactly. Like All For One's entire thing is to take one for all. The only way to do that is for it to take place in that realm. So yeah, definitely. And I can't wait for that. I actually hope that we get like a chapter and a half, maybe 2, just in the in the one for all like world. I think that would be sick.
I think we get a few, to be honest.
I fucking hope so.
But so something this chapter really like opened up for me. So there's 8 vestiges in One for All, right?
Yes.
How many voices has All For One shut out on his side?
A lot. It must be a lot because...
Will any of those start to break through because Shigaraki's body is weak?
So
That's an interesting point.
Do you mean by the quirks he have stolen, like those?
So
those
we now know that quirks are people. Your quirk is
so when he copies them, he's getting essentially a sense of their consciousness.
So I'm like, what is that going to like? How is that going to play into this? Because they kind of alluded to that in this conversation between Genus and Hawks and what they're like breaking down about the quirk.
Yeah,
I'm like, you bring up an interesting point.
Because like when Genius brought up like how come All For One is not going on the offensive, especially when all the heroes are at a fray, and like why cause more chaos? Why cause all of this? You could just end this in one fell swoop. Yet you choose not to. Why? There is a reason for that.
I know we pointed out, but I love how in this panel of this conversation between Hawks and Genus and Endeavor, they gave so much confirmation about the doctor, and Hawks having an understanding about the whole situation. Like Hawks is literally breaking it down for them to know what's going on with All for One and Deku, and knowing what All Might, like them, like all three of them, like this is still new to them that they just found out 2 to 3 weeks ago. So they're still having an understanding of what's going on. But also that, like him saying like something about this is bugging me, and then them trying to break it down what's going on. So I just love this conversation. Like it makes it feel like they themselves are trying to understand it within each other. So I just love that.
I mean, well, and that's the point. Like, because Hawks is the deductive one. Like he's the one
Right.
Well, he's saying this out loud because he's also trying to make sense of it himself.
Right.
You know,
That's correct.
And while he's doing that, he's hoping that somebody else can like pick up on something that he's, you know, saying to them. But I love, like, this just reinforces why I'm so glad he kept Hawks. Is because Hawks is that character who pays attention to shit.
He
and catches on to
all
the
these
tiny
We
questions.
needed a
details.
detective.
Exactly. We needed a detective. We needed somebody who would actually think about, well, shit, why is he doing it this way instead of just you know, destroying everything, which he could at this point.
And I mean, for me, that answer is pretty simple, and I don't think that there's a lot of mystery, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the point was, yeah, Shigaraki is not ready. His body was broken. I just broke out of prison. So if we have all of these different prison breaks, we break the Hero Society. We put a lot of pressure on the Hero Society from a villain standpoint and from a public standpoint. And then on top of that, I need time to mentally break Shigaraki so that I can take over his body in order for me to inevitably get to One for All. So you keep the heroes distracted while he works behind the scenes. So that's what I think it is. I think it's pretty simple as to why he hasn't made a definitive move is because he's not ready to make that move yet.
And I agree with you, but there's a reason why he hasn't destroyed everything. It's because, think about it, there's a nugget of truth in what he's doing. Hero Society needed to be destroyed for what it was. He's just going about it in the way that he thinks is right. You know what I'm saying? And he really just... we've seen it, like, and Horikoshi has done such a good job of showing us. It's like Hero Society is not good. It's not inherently good. There are good heroes in there, but inherently it's not for society and not for the heroes that are part of it. Straight up.
And it's like the real world, dude. Like we can't condemn like all cops, right? Like, but there are bad ones. Like,
oh yeah,
I love those parallels to real life, right? It goes both ways. We can't condemn all cops for the bad ones, and the same thing goes vice versa. And I love that he's brought that into this world. And it's not, we're not glorifying heroes. No, there are things that are wrong. Yes, you do save a lot of people, but there are a lot of things wrong with the way it's done. And I love that he's bringing light to that stuff, because that's not something that you see in a lot of mediums, period.
Right. Exactly.
Before we continue even more, Andrew Lovlovar, thank you for the $4.99 donation, my man.
Hey,
All for
appreciate
One met Shiggy before his life-threatening injuries that he got in his first fight with All Might, so taking over his body wasn't his initial plan. Yes, you are correct, because even Hawk said so himself, or it was either Genius, it's like, he's grooming to Shigaraki to have some sort of ultimate life form. It would make sense if his goal was to take over that new body. No. And we just kind of fully confirmed, no, that wasn't his ultimate goal. We just know that it's just one of these goals that he wants to do.
I mean, so what I would like to say is, this is what I like about Horikoshi as a writer, is that he's not afraid to write in changes. Like, yeah, he might have had an initial vision, but his mind changed. He's already told us this publicly. He had an initial ending that he showed us, and he was like, I changed my mind. It's also fair that his characters can change their minds, and he writes that in. You know, if that's the case,
that's human
I love
nature.
that. Like, it's just it's a natural progression. It's like, actually, this plan wasn't that good, so I decided when I met this kid to change my plan.
It's literally going from bad to worse to destructive. It's literally the ultimate idea and the mindset of an ultimate villain. I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, and so there's a line in this that tells me, it's like, well, All for One's not necessarily a villain. He's just a terrible person. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between a villain, you know, like Overhaul, and then a terrible person that wants nothing but their own gain pushed upon everyone else, which is All for One. Like, All for One's terrible. Terrible.
Oh, yeah, definitely, for sure. Like, he is the definition of a bad guy.
That's a great transition, because another detective Hawks had brought up was this man was always smiling. this entire time we've seen All for One, he was always smiling, like laughing almost too. It's just like it's creepy for one, but it's also another thing where this guy is very sick in the head. This guy has some like serial killer like sociopathic crazy shit right now going on.
So let's get into that, right? And this is something we talked about behind the scenes, and Ray brought it up. But it's like All for One clearly believes that hatred and rage is a key of sorts in order to take One for All. And Hawks is saying, yeah, All for One doesn't have that, right? That is the definition of a true like psychopath. They don't have emotions, and they don't see and use emotions like normal people do. The things that they do, they don't see as wrong per se. They are doing things in their own twisted sense of justice or morality, whatever they want to call it.
Yep.
And that's what All for One is, dude. So he simply does not possess the ability to have rage or hatred in order to accomplish his goal.
And he would have already, because if he did, he would already took it. It's the thing.
And
so he saw Shigaraki, and he was like, if this kid has the potential to have all the rage that I groomed this rage, he essentially groomed rage into Shigaraki.
Yeah, he did.
And we're going to learn that. And so he's like, I groomed you to be exactly what I needed you to be. So I could take this course because I couldn't do it. And I think he's told him that before. You're going to do what I couldn't do. Essentially,
yeah.
Said that. He said that before.
He's mentioned that even though
Shigaraki,
Shigaraki doesn't want it, and he's trying to avoid being controlled by
because
him.
Shigaraki's just mad.
Yeah,
exactly. Like that's it. He's just angry. He's upset because everything he's encountered has not been for him. Period.
He's also been groomed to hate and everything too.
And he never had the control of his own childhood and everything. For example, Hawks even said, "What I don't get is why Shigaraki's rage is so essential." And then our boy Gina said, maybe it's not enough hatred yet, or maybe he has none at all. It's just an impression I get. So I just love how they both question, like, is the emotion and rage important, or what is it that's being raised for? So I love how they ask about that.
I mean, the rage is important.
He also mentioned one needs a strength of will to overwrite them, and that, I think that was the most like the most interesting topic.
I mean, so what that's saying is that All for One cares about his little brother. That's it. He cares about his little brother, and I mean, and that we're gonna see that dichotomy with Dabi. Like I guarantee you, we're going to see that. Like to a point, like you're gonna find out that Dabi does care about his little brother because he survived in a way that he wished he could have, and had the attention that he wanted. So in a way, in a weird twisted way, he cares about him because he's like, well, you didn't turn out like me. Which is, I guess in a way, the worst thing that could happen to Endeavor, in a sense.
And that's the beautiful part of a villain is when they believe they're doing something right. I believe like that's the best part of a villain because, like for example, in chat they also said that if this arc reminds us of Arkham Knight, and we have spoken about before on the previous reviews of My Hero that this reminds us of a bit of Spider-Man, Batman. When Spider-Man villains escape the prison and they all cause havoc in Manhattan, aka and Batman cause havoc out of Arkham into Gotham. So it's similar, and some of the panels have, look similar to the comics of when Batman, Spider-Man looks over the city and everything like that. So it's kind of like,
I mean, they're only
comic
similar in some like looks. That's it. That's
looks
it.
in the design because like most of the villains have escaped. Yes, these are.
I mean, but this has happened in so many other different,
yeah, there's a lot of different.
This has happened in so many different things. Like this has happened in Agents of
I was
S.H.I.E.L.D.
just gonna say, like,
this happens in all kinds of
them
mediums.
looking over the city and stuff like that. Like that's just like a comic
and like exactly.
I don't
and it's
feel
just,
like it's tied.
I don't think it's tied to this at all. Like yes, it's reminiscent of that, and it might pay homage to it, but that's it. That's literally
because I mean we know Horikoshi is a fan of American comics.
Exactly.
That's just it's a staple of American comics.
Of course. I'll just answer in the chat to say,
for sure,
discuss it and everything for sure.
I want to also say, what do you think that's All for One's missing in his soul? It is his little brother, right? The love for his little brother.
I mean, like think about it. He wouldn't have gave him that ability if he didn't care about him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real. Like he did that to his own gain, but it's also because he cared about his little brother. enough that, like, in his own twisted way, him
Like,
doing that
so-
to his brother was showing that he cared.
So he just wanted his little brother's consciousness inside him, in his head?
No, he just wanted him to suffer.
I agree to a degree.
He wanted his brother to suffer.
Because I feel like All For One is a true psychopath. I don't think he actually has, like, he's capable of that kind of emotional attachment, but he did it for a reason, but I don't know.
I was about to say, so
and I
think about
can't
it though.
speak
He
to
could have done that to any other random person, but why not do it to somebody close to you? Because that way,
right?
you know.
Right.
And so that's why he chose his brother. He could have literally done this with any other person. Any other random ass person he could have found. But he was like, no, I know that my brother has a strong will, if anything else. And so he gave it to him.
But it's also because of the story of when they read as kids of the heroes, All For One, and because the little brother read as kids about the heroes. So maybe that's why you chose them. Like they both could be heroes or maybe villains.
No,
Maybe
because he knew
them.
that his brother was frail and couldn't actually fight him.
Mm-hmm.
So
You know
much
what I'm saying?
easier way.
It's
so
more
much
like
easier
you
way to
already-
Remember
control
when
him.
he told him, you only read to this part. You didn't read to the end. You only read to the part that you liked. And that's where the story stopped for you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I like it. I like it a lot. Like, this just...
It's like he has no other emotion.
All For One is a bad dude.
He only-
he's just a bad
for
person.
sure.
He only
who
wants
cares about him and what
joy.
he wants.
His own personal joy, and that's the scary
That's
part.
exactly right, Sam. He wants his
It's-
own personal joy, and that's why he's always smiling.
It's creepy, and it's the reality of it.
I
It's so
love it
scary.
because it's also the duality of him and All Might.
Mm-hmm.
The ultimate good, the ultimate evil. Straight up. That's what it is. Like, All For One is truly evil. It's not like there's no redeeming anything about him, and that's the point.
The one that seeks to save all and the one that cannot be saved.
Exactly.
It's a very interesting dynamic verse.
And I love
Crazy.
it. It's so good because then you can't be like, there is no talk no jutsu with All For One.
Exactly.
Oh no. He don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
He is
He's
evil
just
because he's evil.
I would actually like to love that kind of review discussion to have the ultimate savior versus the one who can't
And
be
then
saved. Kind of thing.
the reason why
comic books and
this
manga.
is so good is because the ultimate good could not complete their mission against the ultimate evil. And now a second generation has to do it in a much more gray-filled space.
That little
So-
gray area is very thin.
Oh, it's not little.
Very-
It's big now.
It's big now.
Very, very small tangent, right? What if this universe had like a death penalty?
Mm-hmm.
Like, wouldn't All For One qualify?
Oh, yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
Oh
mean?
yes,
So
yes,
it's
it
like-
would have.
So it's like I feel like that would be interesting if that was something that was introduced into My Hero. I don't know.
I mean, but think about it though. The ultimate
That would be
good.
interesting.
He thought his only solution was to kill the enemy. The strongest dude, period, could not kill the bad dude. Think about that. Couldn't kill him. He tried with literally all his might.
Yeah. So
Literally.
even if they were to open up to execution or I forgot the term of what they would call like death row and stuff like that. I don't think they'll be able to kill him
Well,
at
see,
all.
I was also thinking that too, Sam. I was like, could they kill him?
like put
If
Yeah,
All
good
Might
point.
couldn't do it, could they kill him? Would they have
Yeah.
anything
Like-
powerful enough to kill this dude?
like literally have like either like put him in a chair or give him some potassium chloride into him like.
I don't know what they do.
you can kill it.
But we haven't really seen him bleed.
Oh no! I mean,
Oh yeah, we've seen him bleed.
Oh.
Master, we have seen him bleed. Master, we
He must
definitely
have
have
his
that for
damn
sure.
hand, Sam.
He has to keep smiling somehow. Maybe like I want to protect my smile because I want to keep smiling. So you can take my eye, take my nose, take my.
Did All Might try to kill All For One? Bro, look at his face.
Yeah.
All Might did that to his face, bro.
Yeah.
He hit him
All
so
Might-
hard
All Might
that
was
the top
trying to
of
kill
his
him.
head was gone.
Yeah, like my dude got no more hair.
Like this,
No,
like
yeah,
All
one-
Might,
one-
no
All
mustache,
Might-
nothing.
All Might knew that this was the last opportunity for him when he still had one for all. He put everything into that last shot.
That's why, I mean, if you just listen to what Gran Torino said to Deku, so of course he tried to kill him because I'm sure Gran Torino told him the same thing.
Exactly, right?
You know?
Like
Yeah,
that's-
because we still don't know the clarification of how he got the bruise here. Like, we know that All For One gave him that bruise here, but we don't know how that
I mean,
fight
just because
exactly happened.
we actually haven't like tangibly seen the fight.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
it.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
I could
We
use
just
my
heard it from them.
imagination for that one.
Right, I can say. And
But I could get that. I feel
there's
like I
no
can get that in
way
Vigilante
that
though, but
Horikoshi
not
doesn't
this.
get. I don't think so. I feel like there'll be a spinoff.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you there'll be a one shot where Horikoshi gives us all of this. Like he will. Because
Yeah,
think
man.
about how much grandiose, like there's so much you could do with that. And everybody wants to see it. Everybody
Yeah.
wants to see Prime.
There's
All Might.
Prime? Hell
Everybody. Like they'd be crazy to be like, oh, nobody wants to see it. Everybody wants to see Prime All Might. I don't care what you say.
Quick side thing, tangent. The most funniest meme when I saw this week was Omni-Man versus All Might. That show was hilarious. I'm like,
which is
he would really.
which is a stupid
It's very-
comparison in my opinion.
Yeah.
So what
With
is
my,
it-
with my limited knowledge, I still think that's supremely stupid.
That's
So
very
Because
sad.
All Might couldn't beat Superman, so it's like
Small tangent. Y'all only like Omni-Man because you just like to see super strong people do bad things. That's all it is.
That's
There's
a
nobody.
fact.
That's
There's
very
physically
true.
nobody that can stop him at this point, and that's why y'all like it. Okay, imagine if Superman decided to cut loose. He could do everything Omni-Man does times 20.
And he
Just
has.
Just go read.
he actually
Red
has.
Son, Red Son Superman.
You
Red
don't
Son
even
Superman
have to
does those
read
stuff.
that.
No,
Go watch All-Star Superman. Just
Oh,
go
that
watch
too.
that.
okay, yeah, for sure, right?
Or
And that'll show you exactly what like
Superman
is
versus
capable.
Fatal 5.
Superman is capable.
Well, I mean,
of
All-Star Superman, he
anything.
was like way more powerful
Exactly, way
than
more
in
powerful.
Fatal
Yeah,
5.
They're way more powerful. So it's like I just need people to understand. Just because you haven't seen it, doesn't mean it's not possible. Okay, Omni-Man ain't beating Superman. That's
No.
just that's just.
Yeah,
He's
I don't
not.
have the knowledge to
He's not.
say that.
I mean, and like
So
and
I'll
this,
take Ray's
this is
word
me
for that.
taking all of Superman's collective history as a hero and a character. Omni-Man is not beating Superman. The shit. Look, I've seen how Invincible ends. Okay,
Right, exactly,
not happening.
right.
Okay.
So let's come back to my
I'm
hero.
on
Let's-
issue 10, by the way.
let's-
Oh my
let's-
God,
let's
yes.
come back to my hero real quick.
I'm
So
not shocked.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
not shocked.
So All Might pretty much takes the position of the sidekick, like the same position that his previous sidekick Night Eye has.
I'm not
Sidekick
gonna
or
call
like
it
butler?
sidekick.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give
just,
it.
I'm just gonna call it more like Overwatch. Like that's what he is.
I prefer that. I prefer that, right? And that's the thing.
Like
too, but
he is.
I was
definitely
sad.
Oracle.
I was sad and happy that All Might gave himself that reference of Night Eye when Night Eye said, "Hey, I recommend to get some nice sleep,
Mhm.
you know, nice cozy bed." And now All Might's the one that's telling Deku that,
Yeah.
like, yo, All Might must have been sad, like, fuck. Now I understand how Night Eye felt because I'm feeling the same way towards Deku, making sure he's good, he's healthy, he's eating. So I'm like, damn.
Well, I mean, and
so
I
like,
think
that was beautiful.
It just shows that it's like when you're the one that's out there doing it, you're out there doing it because you can.
Right.
And now
Yeah.
that he can't, you have to remember to tell people who are doing it because they can to take care of themselves.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so I also love that because it is like him saying, "Yeah, Night Eye really cared about me,"
Rest
and
in
that
peace.
that hurts, bro. Like,
Yeah,
it was like,
Night
he's
Eye
like,
cared
did.
a lot, and Night Eye also understood what All Might was willing to put on the line
Mhm.
to save people, and All Might sees that in Deku, what he's
Exactly.
willing to put on the
And
line.
Night Eye
to
was
save,
like
so-
his,
and that's why he gave him the quirk.
and like Night
Right.
Eye is like his #1 fan too.
Mhm.
Like same as
Just
Deku,
like
in this
Deku.
right now,
Mhm.
but now this time Deku has taken the position of All Might, and now it's like being like you used to be the driver, now you're taking the back seat of it, and it's just you got.
I mean, now he can see it from the other side, and I
Yeah.
feel like that's really
Yes.
powerful. You know what I'm
and
saying?
important
Because
too.
Yeah.
Because like you go from being the greatest hero, #1 hero in Japan, now you're supporting the future #1 hero, but supporting in a way
I would
where
say
you're
technically
second
the
on.
current #1, but their official rankings are dead. But whatever.
Yeah, rankings are done. Rankings are done. Like there's no recovering from rankings anymore.
That's why.
yes, yes, I do think Endeavor would still win simply because he has more battle experience.
Right.
But if we're talking about pure power against power, I mean, it's Deku.
So I'm think about it. I'm trying, and I'd have to correct me if I'm wrong, chat, and if y'all know too. I don't think Deku ever says this is the story of how I became the #1 hero, but he always says this is how I became the greatest hero. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Greatest hero.
That's
So,
what he
greatest-
says.
so
And
greatest
doesn't that
hero
now
is
make so
manga.
much more sense?
Right.
So greatest hero is in a manga and in a sub, but in the dub is his #1 hero.
Interesting.
Interesting, and I feel like that's translation shit. And
Yeah,
know
I think
Yeah.
that's definitely had to be translation, especially when it's
Mhm.
like no more #1 hero. That means the ranking system was either gone,
Gone.
or you weren't the
I
#1
fucking
hero.
hope it's dead.
I hope so too.
It's dead.
Like I hope so.
Holding heroes up to celebrity status is not the right thing to do.
Exactly.
It needs to be gone.
And
You
like-
have heroes that don't do anything
Nothing.
except do press
Yes.
and photo shoots and shit. They need to be removed.
And
The way the system is now needs to be gone.
And that's
And
how they
all for one's right. He's right.
and
which
that's how they're
is so
using
twisted
it.
and fucked up.
That's how they're using
It
it
is.
to gain like fans, funds for their
So, look.
company and everything. Like-
So I just checked now on the first chapter, the last page. It says, I forgot to mention this, but this is the story of how I became a great hero. This is the
A
manga
great
official.
hero.
And that's all that matters.
That's all you need. Like
Okay, so
I
so it's different in each medium then. And-
So, but what I like, and this is kind of like to me, like if I've said this for the longest time, it doesn't matter who does what, as long as you're a great hero, you're a great hero.
yeah,
Right,
that's-
yeah,
yeah.
right.
You make it vague enough where like he's just a great hero. You don't need to
Like,
give him
and
a
just
ranking.
Doesn't
to
mean
bring the
trying-
reference up, Moomin Rider's a great hero.
Yeah.
He's just a
Facts.
dude on a bicycle, bro.
I mean, we laugh, right? But who else would stand up to the Fish King guy?
Yeah.
Who else would stand up to him? He was
I
a
wouldn't,
normal guy on
Somebody
a
he
bike, bro.
Knew he could not fight. He
But
knew.
there were people that needed to be saved, and he stood up and did what's right. That's a hero.
Yes.
That's a hero, bro.
That's what
A great
makes you a
hero.
hero,
That
bro.
helps inspires new
Especially-
heroes and
I
other
mean-
heroes.
Fuck
Exactly.
Moment Rider though.
Because there are
hey, don't
heroes
talk about
in
Moomin
one.
Yeah, don't talk
There
about
are
Moomin Rider.
heroes
That
in
you'll
One
ever-
Punch
You,
Man.
you haven't
that
not read the
wouldn't
new
help-
chapter of One Punch Man to say
You
something like
haven't.
that. You
Oh,
and
Jesus.
he was there
Hey,
to do his.
listen, bro. Just another small side tangent. One Punch Man currently is fucking me up.
Yeah.
I had
Yo.
no idea he had this in him.
I
I'm
was
like-
like, yo, what are you doing? Yo, what are you doing?
It's like
What are you doing?
it's been nonstop. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, slow down, please leave us alone. Like, what is happening?
We took a beating of our lifetime.
And
What are you doing?
next chapter, if that happens, I quit. Sammy, you know exactly what
I
I'm talking
know,
about. That happens
I
next
know,
chapter,
I know.
I quit. I'm done. I'm done with this series. So
I
you
know.
bet not. I swear to God, you bet not.
No resurrection this time.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Whew.
All right, so let's talk about the explosion that happened around All Might's car, because I don't think that the car exploded. I just think that whatever it was exploded next to the car. So what do you
Most
guys
likely a
think?
stun
Bash
grenade
already
or
put it
something,
in
right?
chat. Like I was already saying, like, before we started, I'm like, someone's gonna say that All Might's dead, and I really hope that no one's gonna say that, because there's no way he's dead. There's just no way.
Like this.
Because if he
is-
has
this-
if he
this
has
is-
that
this
car,
is-
it's armored, bro. We
Exactly.
know
I'm
it's
about to say,
armored.
let's be
Come
smart
on.
about this, y'all. They would have
This
built a
car is
car
literally a
like to protect
Batmobile,
Walmart.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank
exactly.
you. Let's
Yep.
go.
This car is literally a
You
Batmobile.
know what?
So
I
literally,
hope it turns into a mech and he fights whoever's in it in this mech suit.
Stop.
that car turns to a mech suit. It literally
But if
goes
the
like,
car's
"Ah,
a
Deco, I
support
got you."
item, bro, All Might's got to be prepared. Boy,
Like,
ain't
yo,
dope.
let's square up.
all my butt.
Yep. And it has the cowl and everything. Oh, bro. Yep. I want this now. The
Oh,
car's a
on some
support
Zip
item.
Man shit. All right.
Yeah, bro. On the big time Zip Man shit. The good kind. So no,
The
yeah.
good kind,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
Good
old,
mecha.
old
Yeah.
man Bruce
Leo
Wayne needed a
Gundam.
Batbot, so why not?
But yes,
Get
so,
all my.
like Pedro said, the real question is who threw it? Because they had to know who it was.
Mm.
They had to know who it was to target that car specifically.
No. Is that chick? Is that chick on the
So-
next panel that
No,
I
her
called
grenades
this
are
on?
different.
It's not.
Look at her grenades.
Look at the
They're different.
GPS.
Uh,
Look at the GPS, right?
Yep.
All Might isn't close to where
Right.
Deku is necessarily, right? So there's no way she could have thrown that grenade and then also had a rifle, her rifle gun
At
arm
Deku.
thing
Mhm.
at Deku. So
It's
yeah,
somebody
who
who's
was it?
working with them in Overhaul, which, by the way, that's definitely Overhaul.
uh-huh.
Right.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
right.
that's definitely overhaul. We said that, and
I mean,
think for
it's
Dipson, her
the line.
reaction as
She's
well.
gonna die soon anyway, so it
mean,
doesn't matter.
Is it now permanently
she's-
Chisaki now?
let's
Because
be-
it's
let's
not
be real.
overhaul anymore. It's not overhaul anymore.
Not yet, but no.
yet.
So that the
Good
reason why
question.
she says, "And you get to keep your limbs." That's why that clarified it for me. Is Overhaul, and she thinks that Deku did this to Overhaul, and I'm like, but he didn't, and she's gonna learn that. So
It's true, but
But then, like, why does Sun care about him now? That's the new.
what do you
thing.
mean? Why the sudden care?
Like, why care about his limbs if you did that to overhaul? Kind of like, why suddenly?
No,
care?
that's the joke though, because it's
Oh.
like Overhaul's limbs were taken away.
Oh, the joke. Okay, I thought it was like, wait, why? Oh,
Like, it's
James
like-
and Ray, what's your theory of her quirk? Because I said it during a reaction that her quirk is like mutation, because of what she could do with her elbow or slash arm and everything. So what do you guys think her quirk is, or like any theory on that?
I mean, it looks like she can turn her body parts into weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's what I
yeah,
got from it.
to me it's a basic form of transmutation.
You know
like,
who this is though? It's Momo's sister,
you think?
potentially.
That would be interesting.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's interesting because Momo could take things out. Her sister could maybe turn her body into stuff that she turns into. That's interesting type of.
That would be
Because I was
interesting,
thinking, what other character? Because everybody has like Horikoshi doesn't like move, like do things too removed from everybody else, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what other character has a quirk like this? And I'm like, Momo.
Right.
connect them to the story and to the
Mhm.
class,
Mm-hmm.
just like
Yeah, because she
Our
this
boy
is no way
Ida
this is
and
this is
everything.
no way this is a throwaway character. She's related to somebody in the class, and I'm assuming it's
I
her
see what
sister.
you mean.
interesting.
Because she looks young enough that I'm like, that's not somebody's mom. I think that's her sister.
Yeah, like she looked like in her 20s, mid 25, so it makes sense that her sister's probably like, 5 years older or 6 years older, so it makes sense for that.
So, and now I'll tell you why I think that Overhaul went after Deku when he found out he was out there. That's his only connection to Eri. Who can give him his arms and legs back? Eri.
I mean, like he's not
Right.
really mentally there.
We
to
did bring up that
also
theory
go.
before, last week, no, 2 weeks ago, so that is definitely a
No, so
possibility with
Sam,
that.
he's there enough that he's looking for Deku.
Wasn't he like begging for his dad or something like that when he was trying to be like when he was in
Because he
prison?
guess what he can do if he has his limbs back? Da 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 da. Heal the old man,
Mm,
which
Right.
is his atonement for the shit that he did.
yeah. So I'm
Right.
hoping.
Deku literally beat sense into this man.
He literally did it. Remember, from the sky, literally brought him down.
Yeah,
like,
he
"Ah."
definitely saw Jesus on that one.
No, absolutely. He's like, I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
the face of God, and it was a mad teenager. So,
Do you guys,
Imagine
Pedro wants to
Andrew
know.
would.
Pedro wants to know: do you guys think Overhaul is working for All for One?
No,
Let's say he was
I
offered
don't-
his
I don't
dad
think
back,
so.
or is he working for himself?
I don't think so. I think he's like there had to be some villains who
So
decide
let's
to
be real.
follow All for One, and then some others who just want to wander off.
I don't
and
he
think
do
was,
things.
he
Overhaul
would see
will work for
Shigaraki.
anyone.
Exactly. He would see Shigaraki and be like, hey, fuck that guy. He's the one that took my arms. And I want to do everything to ruin his plan. I'm gonna go
I
find
agree.
the kid who beat the
And
shit
I
out
mean,
of me.
and Shigaraki's not a businessman, right? Like,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
like Overhaul, he's a villain, but he's also a businessman.
No,
at,
but
at
think
the
about
same
it.
time.
Shigaraki
He's a
also
Yakuza.
betrayed him.
Yeah.
Shigaraki betrayed
That
him.
too, yeah.
Why would
Yeah,
he,
that
why
too,
would he
and,
work
like-
for him? Shigaraki literally betrayed him.
And
Right,
He took
like,
everything from him.
and like we
Because
remember,
of Shigaraki, he lost everything.
yeah.
He took his arms. He like, fuck this shit. And
No, he
so,
literally
He
lost
took his bullets too. He
everything
lost everything, man.
because of Shigaraki.
Everything. The bullets and all that
Yeah, because I
stuff.
mean, you know that the heroes and the police completely shut down the Yakuza
Thank
in
you,
that
Rob.
area.
Yeah. So I think
Oh, yeah,
he's,
Rob,
out to,
thank you
he's
for
out to he's out to take out Shigaraki and hurt him as much as he can. Straight up.
Vengeance.
And so to Pedro's answer, from my opinion as well, I don't think that he's working for him as well. And I think the whole team agrees in that, like,
Mhm.
he's most likely gonna, wants to get his arms back. He wants to go to Eri, and that's why he went to Deku. And most likely, he told the chick, like, hey, we need to find this kid named Deku. He's in a green outfit. And most likely, that's how they found him and everything, because they knew that he's trying to work around the city.
And I think she doesn't feel like she could trust All for One either, because like she seems kind of almost military experience. It seems because she's able to shoot that gun, destroy the walkie-talkie that Deku had for All Might, and
So the weird thing is the knife that she shot into Deku's phone had a microphone in it.
yeah, she
Yeah.
hooked up a microphone so that she could talk to him.
Right.
With her hair, I think. Is
So
what
it's
I
like
believe that's
I don't know if that's her hair or what, but I'm like,
I believe that's her hair because in
That's
the next panel,
interesting.
she's touching her hair and she's, I think, loading another bullet inside the gun or something.
no,
just
it
in
looks
case.
like I don't think she's touching her hair. It looks like she's about to put another knife into the gun to shoot.
Right.
Essentially. That's what it looks
Maybe
like.
knife or- It could be,
I
yeah.
don't know
man.
what that is, honestly.
It looks like a knife.
It's a
I
sick
know, it
quirk.
looks like a knife,
It's a
yeah.
very sick quirk though, for sure. That's for sure. It's very
I mean,
cool.
we've seen Edshot is a hero, bro. Well, I don't want to hear about
Yeah,
sick
Ed-
quirks. And they were like, he's still alive, by the way. They confirmed that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's true. They did. That's very true. They did.
but see, and the thing I love about this, you see also at the end the danger sense is going off
Mhm.
on Deku.
Mhm. Right.
And so I'm like, she can't hit Deku if she wanted to.
Yeah,
she
that
literally
is true because in the last panel, she sees it from the back of his head. and he's not even looking back until the next panel when he says a hired gun stand by for one. Hopefully he doesn't jump to conclusion when he goes and fight her, and hopefully he sees Chisaki, and hopefully he doesn't say who sent you.
Sir, he asked Muscular what his reasoning was. You think he's going to jump to conclusion with this fight?
That's true. But the reason I said that is because he said a hired gun stand by for one. He doesn't know that. He just believes because he hasn't seen her face to face yet.
Again, the man tried to reason with Muscular. I rest my case.
You got a point there.
So he's gonna try to reason with Overhaul? Or
yes.
At least talk?
He's gonna try and find out why he's after him.
That's what a hero should do first.
Yeah.
And Deku is in a unique position where he has a lot of power, so he can afford to take the time to ask those questions as well. So it's like, why not try to figure them out? Why not try to talk some sense into them?
Plus,
this doesn't have to end bad. Let me just take you back to prison.
Exactly. Hey,
let
me wrap you up.
To happen.
I ain't gotta whip your ass, and this is all okay. And I can go about my day and take a nap. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you're going to lose. We don't have to do this.
Right, and I think that they know that. Unless they come up with a very coordinated effort to take down Deku.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And like this is technically one of the only opportunities to find out some real information about
what's happening.
Too.
Yes, about his plan.
Because everybody else
they allude to that.
or not able to.
We still don't know their actual plan, and that's what we're trying to find out. And I feel like this is the way we find out. Is that Overhaul knows what they're trying to do. He's like, "Hey, fuck them. They took my arms, bro."
Like, all right, I'll be a rat. I'll be a rat to spill all the secrets.
Yeah. He's like, I'm in. I can't wait to see it. He's gonna go Overhaul. He's gonna go. No, I'm Chisaki now. Watch. That's what's gonna happen.
He's gonna go. I want a deal. I want my arms back. I'll tell you all the secrets, but I need my arms back, and I need my back.
This chapter was really good, and the people were like, "Oh, All Might's dead." Whatever, bro.
Yeah, he's not. Real quick, right? Yet. Something that was super small, but that I loved is just Endeavor calling Deku Deku. Like, it's just watching other people call him by his hero name and showing him the respect he deserves. That was just really important to me.
I mean,
really
it's just that's a big deal, bro. Like,
yeah,
it's a huge, like, they all respect as a hero.
Yep, exactly.
Straight up. And I'm like, oof, that's good, because he is. He's capable, and the boy has got the true heart of a hero, like, without question. I can't wait for it to be brought into question. I can't wait for him to question. There's got to be something that gets him to question himself at least once in all of this.
Yeah, he needs that. Yeah,
I think he needs.
And I mean, I think that's the decision. Well, one of them should be the decision to kill Shigaraki or not. In my opinion, anyway, one of them.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Can we have your last thoughts before we go straight into Black Clover?
Okay, maybe this is the time where horror coach is like, all right, now we'll switch to the other side. It puts us in like a cliffhanger, because this will be the worst time to blue balls us on this. I'm just saying. But who knows? Probably not. Like, I feel like we're going to be focused on Deku for a while, and I'm okay with this. So, yeah. Great chapter. Yeah. More, please.
James?
Well, I guess we could go into the kids section as well, where Baku and them are doing.
I feel like we can wait. I feel like we can just wait to the end.
Me giving my final thoughts.
Disagreeing with you on your final thoughts because they suck. No.
let me give my bad final thoughts then. All right, let me give my bad, tucky ass bad thoughts.
I mean, you already used up your one "you were right" moment already. You want to just?
I mean, there's a chance. There's a chance. There's absolutely a chance. We're not writing the story.
So we could continue with Deku and everything, which is what we want. But we could go to Bakugo, where is Eri or Miro, what's going on there, because we haven't seen Miro as well in a while to know if he's also out in the field out as well. And we kept talking about Stain for the past couple of reviews to know what the hell this dude is doing. So my guy, where the hell are you at? Are you going to be joining? Are you also going to follow with Deku? So I'm curious about that. So those are my theories of where we could go as well. Could be wrong, but just saying.
I just had an idea. Y'all keep going though.
James?
For me, I'm just speaking from my personal views of what I want. I want more chapters to be about Deku. I want at least like 3 or 4 more that's just centered around Deku, because there's more that I need to know and experience from him as a hero, and as a hero with all of these new quirks and how he's going to use them all together. So me personally, I need more of Deku in this state. I want to know more about this character, how it plays into Overhaul, how it plays into into All for One and Shigaraki. I want Horikoshi to stay within Deku. If he decides to switch up, I'll be perfectly fine with that. I have no issues with that. But me personally, I want to see more Deku.
I think you just brought up a really good point because right now, what you say, bring more Deku. I was also gonna say Hirokoshi, like I want him to continue bring in more real life references into his story for sure. Because like you never know, you would never expect it, but he adds into it. If you look at this like carefully and concisely, you could tell he put in some real world like serious actions and problems into his story and show. But I feel like when James said that we need to know more about Deku is so that we can actually hear his answer to our girl that's trying to figure out what would you do, like
Olga.
Like,
We need that too, yeah.
Exactly, because like
Chat,
right now we're being the
asked
same.
about that.
We're still being like that. We're in a position where like, oh my god, we're in the same mindset of Toga. What's your position to like people who are just misunderstood and not really villains? What is your solution? What is your question? We are getting to that process where we have the same mindset as Toga, and now we want to learn more about Deku. Can you steer us into the right direction? That's what we want to know. That's what we want to see, and it's gonna be a lot. And in horror we trust, man. Like,
True. By the way, just one quick thought about Stain. As much as I would love for it to be Stain who threw the grenade, I think that this is the moment where somebody else who is an enemy of All Might threw that grenade, and Stain shows up to save him. This is the
Chat
time.
said that as well.
So I was just gonna say, like, I mean, Stain doesn't necessarily have a grudge against All Might. He's one of the two people that he actually sees as a true hero, like the pinnacle, the definition of a hero. So I don't think he would try to get his attention with a grenade.
Right. And I mean, as far as Gentle goes, Gentle didn't even go to real jail. They sent him to like petty jail.
Yeah.
They were like,
They
were like, bro, you ain't.
They
even
didn't send him to Tartarus.
Spread enough to go to Tartarus. So he went to he went to regular people jail.
Like, you ain't a big, bad guy, so let's take it to regular jail. But who knows? He could actually be out on patrol and helping out, so we don't know. Does he matter right now at this moment? No, but we care about more Stain, Hisaki, the other kids.
I mean, I'll be very honest. The only thing I truly care about is what's happening with Deku at this point.
Yeah, of course.
To be honest,
because I think about what value does it bring to the story to go back to 1A other than to see his classmates and the parents worrying about the kids. We know that's happening. The only other thing I see like even like remotely important for us to see is literally what's happening on the other side of the coin with the villains.
Yeah,
that's it.
Because I also agree the same thing with Gentle himself. Like, we don't really need to see Gentle again. He technically made his like message. He definitely impacted Deku the most. He's one of the reasons why Deku is like literally asking these questions to people like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Because I can try to sympathize. I can empathize what you're going through, or at least give us the real emotion of why you decide to do what you have to do, like a real hero can.
I mean, it would be cool to see Gentle like help Deku and like for him to say thank you, essentially. So that would be a really cool moment.
I would love that, right? For me personally, before the series ends, I would love to see Gentle operating as a hero, and it's because of Deku. That would absolutely warm my heart. I would cry tears in that moment.
Big same.
And Ray, chat even said it. Pedro said La Brava was using to hack the monitor in the city, and she actually becomes the Overwatch / Oracle of Batman.
I would love.
I love that too. Actually,
that would be dope.
I would love that.
I would love it.
That'd be good for her. That'd be a fun like change to her character because she has a really powerful quirk, and that would be fantastic. So
amazing.
That'd be amazing. So, Sam, it's sad to see you go, my man. I hope you join us in the summer for Black Clover.
I mean, we'll see, but I'll definitely make sure that I'm gonna be jumping in with JJK, like with all of us. So.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry guys. Right. Have a good one.
Bye, Sam. Go read Black Clover, nerd.
See you back. But Black Clover, chapter 292. What do y'all think?
One of the best chapters we've gotten in a hot minute in terms of like story and power scaling progression. Like, how do you take one of your characters that has no business fighting one of the final bosses and make them fight the final boss? This is how you do it.
Same.
Boom.
I love
Jesus.
I love the explanation. Like, the most thing I also love about this chapter is the respect that Zora got from Magna. Magna giving him the respect, saying, "Hey, you are a peasant just like me. but you could fight toe to toe with a Royo that has good enough magic to beat us like nothing. But you fought against them during the arc of the Warrior Tournament, and Manga gave that respect, but also Zoro knew that and said, and then gave the explanation, said like, hey, I don't have the attributes, I don't have the magic, the mana, this, but I work twice, 3 times, 5 times as hard as them to do what I can with the ruins magic. Like he knew about ruins, and we knew that because the way he gives his strat magic and the way he gave the explanation of how he said that I work harder and slower, it's just because my magic is not as great as them, but it's because I work in details with his magic. I love that. Like it shows Zoro to know that just because he's a peasant, he knows how to be smart with magic, and that's amazing about his character.
I mean, listen, bro, that's been the whole point of the whole thing with Asta. That's been the whole thing. It doesn't matter how much magic you have. It depends on what you do with the power that you got. And that, like, I feel like that's what can turn apart. I mean, listen, the only reason why he really worked with Manga is because he saw some of his father in him. That was it. Like he saw how hard he was willing to work and that he wanted to help people regardless of how strong he was.
That's what he also likes about Asta.
Exactly. And so I'm like, that's why he did it. I just love that there was like the hey, no, we don't have to be the strongest, but we can still do shit. I was like, yep, thank you. And I'm like, I feel like Asta also kept like gives them power to believe that because he literally doesn't have magic, bro. And he out here killing demons. So I love this chapter.
Same, bro. Like I love this chapter. We've been talking about this for a while. Where's Zora? Where's Magna? And I've been waiting for it because I absolutely love these characters, right? Like as much as I love Fuegoleon and Nozel and all of these other characters, these are the characters that I love a lot, right? Like for me, I see Magna and Asta pretty much the same, but the difference is Asta's the MC, so he gets more power-ups,
plot armor. Exactly,
he's got the plot armor, right? So I love Magna. He has come from nothing. He came from nothing, and he was able to achieve the title of Magic Knight. He's risen through the ranks. He has proven himself. So I love that we actually got to see the fruits of his labor. He is going fist for fist, blow for blow with Dante, bro. This is incredible. And I can't wait to see how Zora has stepped up his game. Because again, we talked about this before during the Royal Knights exam, when he was able to put the runes on his own body. I want to see him do more complicated traps like that, right? So I want to see what he's going to do
and
next.
We know he came prepared, bro. We know he came prepared. Let's be real.
Yeah, bro.
I laughed at how Jack was like, he can't do that. Like, what are you doing? And Jack was like shocked, like, a peasant can't do this. But I'm like, Jack, you almost like a peasant too. So what the fuck you talking about? Like, you supposed
No, he's not. Too? No, he's not. But Jack has true mana. Like that dude's got hell of power.
I know he has, but I love the explanation as well in page 7 that actually link us up and split our magic evenly. So I love the graph he did, like Magna is 2 and then Dante is 1,000 and then split it to 501, 501. I'm like, damn, Magna, you put yourself as a 2. So it's just funny how he
compared to Dante, he is.
Oh yeah, compared to Dante. But I love this because shout out to our boy Roku when he asked me and James a couple weeks ago about our boy Ghost Rider, about the Spirit of Vengeance and everything. Like he has a similar power like this when he I forgot what's the power that Ghost Rider has, but to see something like this used from Magna to Dante and actually see more in this chapter, like he's literally fighting like a boxer, and I love this. Like Magna's literally giving him the hands.
I mean, I guess on a very Ghost Rider because fire and chains. Come on, bro, surface level stuff.
I mean, yeah, I was just gonna say it's a bit surface level because yes, he uses the chains, like he connects to their souls and shit. It's basic on that level. But real quick, and I want to get
this ain't a penance stare, bro. Y'all don't know what the penance stare does, then.
Right? That's a little bit different.
It's definitely not a penance stare at all because that's a whole different level. Yes.
But what I want to know from you guys is what did Zora mean by Magna being able to help him advance? Like, what is it about Magna and his quirk? What is it that he's doing that Zora can see the potential? Because he can get any. So check this out, right? He can get anyone if he just needs someone with an energy type to where he can throw energy balls at him and he can like double it and return it back. So he can use anyone with that type of magic to train that ability, but what specifically about Magna gives him an advantage in any area?
It's real simple. It's the way he thinks.
You think?
It's his creative aspect, because Magna.
So you don't think it's his magic or anything? Like
No,
it's just the way he thinks?
Well, I mean, but let's think
mind.
about it. He would also know more about his attribute of magic based on his father.
Correct.
So
that's why
he would know how to take more advantage of that, is my thought. But I think it's just he sees that Magna thinks differently than the other Magic Knights, and that's because he has to, based on his level of ability.
Right. Okay. So you're saying that you think Magna would help Zora think outside the box to create more complicated spells.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Correct. Because
perfect.
It is because remember the flashback of how Zoro was seeing Magna and it reminded his father and said a peasant with flame magic and magic who's a knight. And then that's what he gave him a reason. He told him like, hey, just get back up. I was gonna help you anyway. But because he saw his father, another flame user, and where Magna could also be very creative with it. So that's why he thought he could support him in that aspect, because maybe Magna could help Zora to be creative more with his traps.
Well,
because,
I mean, it's more
offensive and defensive with his trap magic. So maybe he could do something more creative with it. Maybe long range attacks, because Zora is more mid range in close combat. But maybe if he could do something more with it, that'd be dope.
I don't know. I feel like this helps Zora see that he can work with other people. Like in tandem with other folks, he's twice as powerful. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that was also the thing. He saw this spirit in Magna. It's like regardless of where he's at, he doesn't want to give up. And I think that also relit the flame in Zora, which is really cool, because it's like it really, like him reminding him of his father was like, yo, my dad didn't give up regardless. He worked his ass off and became a knight. Regardless of how the other knights treated him and how, other people act like him, he did his damn thing regardless. And I feel like I love that, because he sees that in Magna. He's like, no, I was gonna help you because I already saw that in you, because I saw it in my father. Is my interpretation of that. And I love that so much.
Sense. Yeah.
Also, I gotta give props to Zoro's secret base.
Yo,
it shows that this dude is always working. Like, my dude got papers and papers literally up in the scene. Like, it shows that he's always been trying to improve and develop his magic. And props to that, knowing that his magic is so not basic, but calling it it's trap magic.
It's limited.
Limited. Thank you for the word. Thank you. It's limited. But Zoro makes it more unique, and because he's a creative user with it. But now that's why, again, to what James' question was, he bring a Magna to see that you caught it because I needed somebody to also. He said it. I've been looking for my ultimate self for ages too, because he needed some help. I guess he was stuck. I guess he was stuck in a wall to know, like, how can I improve more?
Yeah, exactly. He
now
hit a
with
wall.
Magna,
that's exactly it. With Magna,
Magna
can help him get through that wall. Exactly.
Yes, correct. Thank you, Rick, for helping me finish my thought there. That's perfect.
And I love the secret base, because it just shows how much work Zora puts into everything.
Right? And I'm like, that's what Zora's been one of my favorite characters since he was first introduced to me. Like straight up. I've been saying that since the beginning. I love Zora's character. And this just fleshes that out even more, because like if you look in this room, this is his research. This is how much time he's put into everything that he knows. And I love that Tabata used him to explain that even them with as low level magic as they also have an advantage that other folks don't.
Right. Yes. So let's get into that. Right?
I love that.
So the dialogue states that pretty much, yes, they have lower amounts of mana, but because of that, their mana sticks around longer, allowing them to create more complicated runes, in turn creating more complicated spells. So that's incredible. That's great writing to give these types of characters an advantage that Asta doesn't even have, right?
Yeah,
because Asta has anti-magic. That still makes him extremely OP and puts him on the level of Magic Knight captains and beyond, right? But with Zora and Magna and other peasants, this gives them a completely other way to fight. What's the name of the kid from Hodge Village that looks up to Asta? And I can't remember his name right now. He's also a flame magic user. He's been training.
Yeah.
I love that kid. Fuck. Chat, please tell me. What is his name?
I remember who you're talking about though. Yep.
But anyways, this gives him hope to come up with new and creative ways for him to be an amazing Magic Knight. So it's further sowing the seeds for other characters like these guys.
I mean, what I loved is though, so the best part was it's not just like learning about mana. He says to do that though, we have to know more about our mana and ourselves.
Thank you so much.
That's why he goes into, I've been trying to find my true self. So I have to know my mana type and my affiliation with mana in order to make this work well. And I'm like,
so
oh shit.
I love this, Ray. James, I don't know if you might get the reference, but it reminds me of how the guy from Naruto, the guy that's a clone from the first Hokage, that taught
is it Yamato?
Yeah, thank you, him, Yamato. Yamato, of how he taught Naruto what is your chakra? Like, is it lightning? Is it wind? Is it earth, water? And now like Zoro's teaching the same thing, but not about like what's your magic type, but what is your type of style, like the ruins. Like I love how James brought up, like for that panel, I think it's my favorite throughout the chapter because he literally tells them that like, yo, this is how you use mana runes. And when you're weaker, the more we can set them up much earlier because we have to take that time. So I love that very much.
Yeah, it's dope, man. Like I love the science behind it. It's less mana, but when developed and over time, it lasts longer. Other than like a sun per se that burns extremely hot, eventually it's going to burn out a lot faster.
Yep.
So it's very interesting what Tabata has introduced into the universe this late in the game, honestly. So I'm very excited for where it goes next.
And I think it's weird that he puts it right here. But I'm like, is this just kind of a one-off thing to, explain why Mari can all of a sudden fight toe-to-toe with Dante, the guy who took out the entire squad of the Black Bulls by himself, minus, a few people? Maybe. But it doesn't make it any less badass, I'll be very honest.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
The fact that this is toe-to-toe with Dante here is amazing.
So this whole thing makes me a little scared though, and I'll explain.
What?
Because I don't want Black Clover to do the Dragon Ball thing and give Magna this great ability to where he can literally stand toe-to-toe with Dante, and it's really about what they have inside and their physical abilities, but it's still not enough, and Asta has to come in and save everybody. I don't want that because I want Asta to be the one to save Yami and Vengeance. That's what I want Asta to do, and I want Magna to actually take out Dante. I don't want the Dragon Ball thing.
Can I tell you
something?
Can I give you like a quick...
Wait. Before you said it, because that's something we spoke about. But before we did Shonen Ronin episode 1, right before we discussed the past 4 chapters and everything of Black Clover, that's something that we agree on. That Asta, came in against Nash, helped him out, and defeat the twins, and now he's gonna do the same thing against others. That's the thing that I want Magna to take this W, because I want some of the Black Bulls. Okay, cool. If Jack or these other characters do not take any W's and Asta save them, cool. But if the Black Bulls are the main cast with Asta and everything, I want Magna and Zoro to take this W against Dante, because like James brought up, Dante is the one that defeated most of the Black Bulls at the base, literally took most of them down. And I want Magna and Zoro to take this W against Dante for that reason. And I hope Asta to come in. I hope Asta comes in and sees that they're winning and he doesn't help them out and he just watches them or supports them or something like that. I feel like that would be great.
So first of all, Asta can't help them because this has only been 30 seconds probably. He has a time limit. He is not able to get back up on that. Second of all, Magna does absolutely beat Dante. There is a very specific thing that they talk about in this with Magna's magic.
That they cannot help out outside, yes.
No, not just that. If that soul chain breaks, you go crazy.
Right.
Their soul, they take their soul, yeah.
So the demon that's in tandem with Dante takes over when Dante loses. Inevitably, that chain is going to get broken forcibly, and it makes Dante go wild, which gives the demon in him full carte blanche to do whatever he wants. So yes, Magna beats Dante, but he
doesn't beat the demon.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Thomas smart as hell when he wrote this, because I saw it. As soon as I was reading, I was like, that's what he's going to do, and that's fucking genius. Because I'm like,
good with that.
You can give Magna that W, but he can't beat the demon, because guess what? The demon's on a whole different level than Dante.
Because what happened to Vegeta in that last arc is fucking bullshit. And I needed Vegeta to get that W. He was supposed to get that W. Goku can get that W somewhere else. Goku could have gotten the power up and Vegeta still get the
Did Vegeta
W.
even get
Everyone
to use,
still
did
wins.
Vegeta even get to use that technique?
Yes, he did. He did.
I mean, yeah, he did, but it was useless to a point, right? Like,
So I will already say that
anyways,
Manga's
we're getting
technique
off
has
topic.
already been 6 times more useful than Vegeta's was.
exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
definitely.
Already.
And no
is what
lie,
I'm saying.
I gotta say how Zoro, if you look at page 13, how Zoro it literally has his pockets in, and that's what Albazino did to the other Golden Dawns. Zoro literally standing there just watching and supporting him from a side.
Because he knows that he can't help him in order for it to work.
True. I'm just saying that how good he looks. That's all I'm saying. I don't care that he's not doing nothing. I'm just saying how good he looks. Like I said, we love Zoro here. We represent Zoro
Listen,
here.
y'all know I'm a
Zoro
stan and will be, and I can't wait to see what he actually has planned for this entire thing. Like, who knows what he did on the way here?
Yeah.
Right?
Like, think about it. He always has to think like 10 steps ahead. So
yeah.
So go with me on this wild tangent, right? I have no idea if this is gonna happen. I have no idea.
Let's go.
So Dante is also able to use his flesh magic to rapidly heal himself, right? So Magna can beat the shit out of him. Eventually, it's going to be a battle of endurance, right? What if Magna's flames is able to burn so hot that Dante's flesh magic at 50% isn't fast enough to make him heal, and that's also what contributes to Magna's win?
Absolutely.
I think it's
absolutely possible.
Because this panel even shows it that, like, in the last panel, page 15, 16, Magna literally took him down with a right hook down. And we probably know
with his flame knuckles, his flame brass knuckles. I was like,
oh my god!
I'm like, of course, you're such a punk. I love it. It's like,
oh yeah,
brass knuckles to this fight that he made out of fire. So good.
Have you seen his
chain and brass knuckles?
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
yeah.
saying, though. That's the best part. I'm like, yeah, he brought brass knuckles. He's like, I gotta make it even. Brass knuckles too.
If Magna in the future gets some type of flame head, I'm like, all right, cool. You've been reading some Ghost Rider comics because my dude already has little flame knuckles, a chain now, and flame head now. I'm like, okay, well, okay, what's going on here? You're reading a lot of Ghost Rider comics right now. This is just makes no sense.
And real quick, although Dante is at 50%, the fact that Magna was able to stand up to presence of the Demon King, that gave me goosebumps, bro. That gave me goosebumps.
It just shows you how, and well, it really shows what you just said, James, is completely possible.
Endurance.
No, not the endurance.
Right.
The balancing of the power brings it literally 50-50.
Right.
And so the healing magic might not be able to work. It's in it, like it's the attributes are opposite. And so Magna's is better than his because it's fire. Right. And so I'm like, that's very, very possible. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm about it. So I love how this worked out, because you took one of the strongest people we've seen so far. And like, hey, I'm gonna beat your ass, and this is how I'm gonna do it. I love that. That's like, imagine if Krillin had a way to make the fight even between him and Frieza, and he did it.
Hey Ray, I need you to stop saying smart things, please.
I'm just saying.
Stop saying smart things.
I'm just saying.
Ray got a point there. Like, imagine if Krillin actually fought Cell in that tournament arc instead of Gohan.
Instead of him being like super powerful, he came up with a way to balance the fight, and he fought Cell heads up. That would have been lit, and we all would have loved it.
Instead of, let's hold out until Goku gets here. I hate that.
All the single time.
So this is why, in terms of how
it's
written,
that relationship with Android 18. I don't care.
Thank you. For me, and I don't care if I get hate for this. This is why I think the overall story and how things work in Black Clover is better than Dragon Ball. Take that how you will. Are moments in Dragon Ball more entertaining than Black Clover in some moments?
Yes.
Of course. I can say that. I would say that I love the Tournament of Power, the Cell Saga, the tournament, all of that shit's amazing, right? There's a lot of great moments, but in terms of overall writing, I will go with Black Clover.
I'm gonna say it.
And plus, Ashton even brought it up. Black Clover gets better and better every time the art improves, the story writing, and like
the longer Dragon Ball goes on, the more it gets more repetitive. Even if they introduce more elements, introduce new elements at the end, it becomes repetitive.
Which is exactly what it is.
James, catch it to the most recent 3 chapters because you will agree with what me and Ray said before. But just to add to what Ashton said about the Black Clover gets better and better, like me and the guys on the most recent Black Clover solo review, we even said like we want more characterization, we want more other side characters, personality, more of their backstory. And look, we got this Magna, we got the Zoro, and we've been wanting this. So I hope he continues and improve on, not like, we love the battle chapters, we love seeing Asta with subject characters, but this chapter, battle, reasoning, 2 of our favorite characters from the Black Bulls, and we get hype moments and great art. I love the chapter. Purely entertaining, purely awesome. So I was really entertained and I love it.
It's great. It's just a good time. This was a solid chapter because it gave me what I wanted. Characterization, plot advancement, and battles. That's all I need, boy. That's all I need.
Yes.
Some great ass whooping that Dante's getting. So I love it. Like Dante's getting an ass whooping. I'm just waiting for Zeno to get some ass whipping from also because he deserves it, because he literally took down the whole Golden Dawn.
Zeno to get his ass beat.
Ray, he literally took down the Golden Dawn. He needs to get the ass whooping from Like,
and he's extremely arrogant, and I need him to come down a couple levels.
He's arrogant. My dude was literally walking throughout the whole Golden Dawn, literally like this.
With his hands in his pockets.
Boom, boom. How can you give ass whooping with your hands in your pocket still?
Because you that much of a badass. Exactly right. You know what I'm saying? So, Vash did. Yuno's gonna have to step it up. Like he's gonna have to take this shit seriously
because he has all of those powerful attacks, but Zeno can use spatial magic that he can just redirect all of those attacks.
Yuno has all the capability to be great, but is it? You know what I'm saying? He tries so hard and then still takes an L. You know what I'm saying? Yuno is the Vegeta of this universe, if you ask me.
Facts,
he's cool as hell, but like this would be a fine place for him to get a W, but I'm gonna need it for him to be I need it to be a hard fought W, is what I'm saying. Like, I don't want it to be like an easy, like, I'm gonna one shot you, but like you one shot my group. Please don't. Like, I want him to work for this win.
Yeah.
So
like his battle against Langris, his battle against the paint magic user, what's his name again?
Real.
Yeah, his battle against Real, like that was cool, but it didn't really look like was sweating. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, he has to use a lot of mana, but
I really want him to get to the point where like he's like, oh shit, that was much more difficult than I thought. Like, that's what I want to see. All right, favored by Mana Boy, let's do it. I'm about it.
So, any last thoughts of the chapter? Any last theories? Because guys, again, reminder for the chat and the comments for people that watch the chat. Black Hole will be on break next week. So Black Hole will be back in 2 weeks when we bring back to discuss it. So if you guys are watching this review and want us to discuss another series we might hear next week and catch it number 8, let us know down in the comment section down below what series you want us to talk about this, any new series.
Everybody comment JJK. Do it.
Yes, JJK
we will check by Tuesday. We will check by Tuesday, and if there's no results by Tuesday, what you guys want to cover, we will choose one ourselves. But by Tuesday, we will see if there's any comments. James, Ray.
To be real, I think I should get to pick what we review, since I'm the one that's most caught up. And so I won't pick something that you're not caught up on, but I should get to choose what we get, what we talk about,
That's fine, man. We could talk this.
Ray, weren't you the one that voted for Kaiju number 8?
I mean, but we already talked about it. So
Sam,
we are doing Kaiju number 8 next week anyway.
I never left.
I never left.
I know, but come back on camera as well.
Yeah, come back on camera. Yeah, we're about to end anyway. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll figure out. We'll figure out what y'all want to see, and then I'm like, okay, well, maybe we should read this instead. It'll be all right. But I mean, I want it to be something that we could all talk about. Like, I want us to all be able to have a conversation about something, because it's way more interesting when it works that way. Sam,
definitely.
I'm trying, man. I got you said next week. Yet I have a final the next day.
And guys, apologies that I wasn't here on the last episode. I had some work stuff that came up last minute, and it was an absolute nightmare this entire week. So I'm back, though. Things have finally calmed down. I'm good. I'm back, and I'll be here on every episode.
Yeah, boy. But no, this chapter was great. Like, I was telling folks online, I smiled so damn big reading this chapter because it was fun. Same. It was so nice to see Magna get that hit, boy. Like, that was so good. Black Clover is this is the one I go to read when I just want to have fun, straight up, every single time. And I love it. This was great. So more, please.
James?
Same. Yeah, just give me more, man. Like, I would love to get more of this fight between Magna and Dante. Like, I love watching Dante get his ass beat, even though he's just smiling all the time. I love watching him get his ass beat, and I just want more. Give me more of that. And I want to know what Zoro's going to do next. I want to see what new spells he's learned. I want to know how much power he has now, how much mana he's able to absorb at a faster rate. These are all the things that I'm interested. So yeah, give me more.
For me, my last thoughts of this chapter, I can only see more of the fight between Magna and Dante, which is where it goes, to see what Ray thoughts about if Dante's gonna lose, and then the whole demon is gonna take control, and Dante lose control of his mind, takes his soul. So really just to know of that next predicament, what happens with his character, can't wait to see. And Zoro to see what his power is. Are we gonna see in chapter 293? And the more closer we get with chapter 300, are we gonna see something cool in chapter 300? Or are we gonna see some type of anniversary, character pulls, anything like that, cover pages, what's cool with what Tabata's planning? And I'm very happy that Tabata's taking breaks. That's something that I'm happy authors are choosing the breaks when they can, because they need them, because they do a lot of great banger. And hopefully no more shorter chapters. Take your breaks, that's what you need. Just give us our usual 18, 17 chapters, my guy. Thank you and appreciate it.
Real quick, right? We say that, but I never want a creator to feel pressured to be like, oh, because it's like chapter 100 or 200, 300, that I have to do something interesting. Like,
no.
And I'm not saying that you're saying that. It's just because I thought of it when you said it.
And not give a damn and just had a regular ass chapter for 1,000.
From what I heard from the big YouTubers, King of Lightning, Roger and everybody, from what I heard, people said that 1001 was better than chapter 1000. That's what I heard mostly from them.
Like said, no creator should feel pressure to have to do that.
But what I mean by that is like double spread, color page. That's why, like, story wise, I don't give a fuck. But like, cool double spread. Hey guys, chapter 300, cool. Like, little nice double spread, pretty cool. But like story wise, I don't give a fuck. It's your series. Do what you want, my guy. We're just audience and talking about it. We're our fans in chat, just joining the conversation and ask us questions about it. But when it comes to their series, all right, cool. My hero, Hori, don't really do nothing for his next big landmarks. He just writes his story.
Although now you just told me that you ain't caught up. You really behind on One Piece. Fake fan. Wow.
Wow. Still 975. And I just wanna I'm actually catching up with One Piece because I'm actually watching the anime because I want to see where Wano is with how they're telling it, because they're adding a bit more. But that's a whole different conversation for the anime podcast.
This is Shonen Ronin where we talk about whatever manga we want. So congratulations. Gotcha.
That's very true. Yeah.
It doesn't exclude webtoons as well, guys. We can also do webtoons as well.
I also want to cover some webtoons. Tower of God of High School.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Solo leveling.
I mean, Omniscient Reader would be lit as well. I'm just saying, there's a few that we could be talking about.
Dungeon Reset.
Definitely sure.
I mean, we could throw in Mage and Demon Queen.
Yes, I'm not opposed.
I'm not opposed to that.
I'm not opposed to continue reading that, so definitely for sure. I don't mind for sure.
But anyway, guys, this has been a great session of Shonen Ronin episode. This has been a great session for Shonen Ronin. Hope you guys enjoy our talks about My Hero Academia, My Hero, our usual talks. And yes, give us your recommendation of what else we should talk about on Shonen Ronin in the comments down below or in the live chat if you can right now. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel because we're trying to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It sounds impossible, but I think we can do it. We also are glad and happy of our podcast listeners onto listening to Shonen Ronin.
I really appreciate that. Thank you very much, guys.
It. And always remember, guys, like the video if you enjoy our talk and this whole entire discussion. I hope you guys had a good one. Have a good one. Peace. Happy Mother's Day too.
Thank you, some cheese.